Okay, there's a good reason that I played that. That took a lot of work. I remember learning that, and I remember it was, early on I was in my teens, and it was quite formative in understanding, best practices for learning things. So a lot of the things I talk about in this video today started way back, probably over 18 years ago of thinking about. So you're getting, something that's developed over 18 years here today, in that I'm going to talk about, how best to learn a song. And yes, it's rockabilly stuff that I talk about, but it actually really is going to apply to any genre. So if you're not familiar with my channel and you've come across this video, hopefully you find it really useful anyway. Now I'm going to grab my notes because I don't want to get anything wrong. I want to have this clearly laid out for you. Okay, there are 8 steps. Okay, we're going to go through 8 steps to put in place when you want to learn a new song. So keep in mind that anything that is going to push your ability or that's challenging is going to be hard, and it will require slow work, essentially, to begin with. Okay, but let's get straight into the 8 steps. Okay, this video will be, I think, part of Rockabilly Guitar for the Complete Beginner, number 9. But as you can see, it's a complete standalone video. They kind of all are in that series. Anyway, step 1. Listen, listen, listen. You have to absolutely know how something sounds before you start working on it. It will help so much. Trying to learn a song off a transcription without knowing how it sounds is a little bit like someone ringing you up on the phone and describing a picture and you trying to paint it versus you looking at it. Okay, if you can hear it, it's like you're looking at the image you're painting. Okay, hearing it is seeing it, if that makes sense. So make sure you know what it is that you're playing by ear, and the best way to do that is just take small bites that you listen to over and over again. You'll work on that little bit. If you take big passages, your brain just won't remember, and you won't be able to apply what you're hearing to the little passage. So that's the first thing. Step 2, know what to play. And the best way to know exactly what you're meant to be playing is to break it down. Start with beat 1. What do I play on beat 1? So for that song, on beat 1, I play the 5th string open. And then on beat 2, I don't have 2 hands right now, so I'm not going to be able to do it, but I'm holding, I'm holding this chord shape, and I'm picking the... Actually, it starts with the... I should have pinched the 1st string. Anyway, you get the idea, but I know exactly, like on beat 1, I'm pinching these 2, and I'm holding that chord. That's beat 1, okay? I know what that is now. I can pick the guitar up tomorrow and start on beat 2 or on the and in between. So you just do it like that and make sure you really know what it is that you're doing. And then you can incorporate how it's meant to be sounding, especially if there's a complex rhythm to it. Okay, one little bit at a time. So that's really important. If you spend a week on a bar, that is fine. You're going to know that bar backwards, and you're going to know how it sounds. So number 3, and this is kind of obvious, but once you know what it is that you're meant to be playing, practice it heaps, okay? Then add in a metronome once you're sort of getting the muscle memory going, okay? But even adding a metronome when you're sort of starting to get it will force you to start using muscle memory, okay? If you're pushing the tempo slightly, we want to start slow. But here's a really big tip: when it's boring, when it starts to feel boring, you've got it, and your brain will put it into muscle memory. So when it starts to feel boring, that's when you go to the next beat, okay? Or you put the metronome on and speed it up a little bit when it gets boring. I know, but that's what us guys that you might think, hey, they can really play. Trust me, we've done all these things until they're boring. That's the reality. That's probably the most useful tip in the whole thing. But don't click away, because the next bit's really good too. Step 4, sing the part, okay, that you're trying to play, that you're learning. See if you can sing it. Can you hum the rhythm of it? Da, 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 na, 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 na. Now here's the problem with Chirac and stuff. You've got that bass line going in the middle, so it's more like ba kung king kung king ba da 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 boom. See how I'm singing the little thumb strokes as well that are going in between. Putting it with it is a whole nightmare. That's probably a bad example and a bit intimidating. But anything, it could be a lick, it could be Stray Cat Strut, it could be Led Zeppelin, it could be Black Dog. Can you sing it? If you can sing it, you've got a good chance of being able to play it. If you can't, you've almost got no chance of being able to play it. And I don't mean sing it in pitch, I just mean sing that rhythm. So step 5, play along to something. If the song's too fast, try it at 50%. Try playing along. If you know someone else that can play it for you, try playing along with them. If you can get someone to play chords for you to play along with, try playing along with that. Drums, bass, anything. Try playing along with something. Okay, that's really, really useful. And a metronome. You can try a metronome as well. That can be complicated, learning how to put something on a metronome, but have a go. Okay. Number 6. Once you're starting to get some momentum, stop overthinking. Okay, every now and then you just want to have a bash and maybe have a bash at full speed with the song, half speed, 3/4 speed, but don't think, just play and see what happens. So don't overthink. I'm having some great results with students where we work and then I'm like, okay, now just play it, have a go, and some magic happens. Sometimes it needs to go back to the drawing board or needs more time, but it will eventually start to click when you get your brain out of the way, because your muscle memory will be doing its thing. So number 7, are you getting bored with the song overall and you're thinking about quitting it? Don't, okay? And I know I said before you're going to get bored. I guess it was a slightly different context, because I'm almost talking about, like, in general, you're sick of the song and you're sick of practicing it, okay? You might be doing really well but still feel the same way. Start another song, okay? You don't have to do one song at a time. When you're working on another song, you're working on your guitar playing, which is going to make you better at the song that you're working on now, okay? It all fills into one. So start another song, or go find an easier song. If you're really having a hard time, go do something easier, because in that time you're working on something else, you're going to mature as a player, you're going to come back to that song and it should get, you know, hopefully a little bit easier. So do try that. And number 8, take stepping stones, which really is pretty much what I just said. So if you are finding that, you know, you're working on a song and it's really difficult, go find a stepping stone, find something easier. Or this is where exercises can come in and be really useful. You might take an excerpt of the song that you're working on and say, well, I'm just going to practice that like an exercise. Maybe I'll practice it slightly at a time, but I'm going to do something accurate and develop an exercise. Or get your teacher, if you've got one, to give you exercises that will give you stepping stones, or perhaps just easier songs that will give you stepping stones to get it. Or it might even be breaking down a really hard chord, you know, that you're having a hard time with, and just practicing. Today I'm going to focus on where my second finger lands. Tomorrow I'm going to focus on where my first finger lands. So breaking things down and stepping stones. And that's it. That is everything that I wanted to talk about today. Let me know in the comments if you found that really helpful, and if you're really enjoying my videos, don't forget you can join my Patreon. There's occasional content that goes up that doesn't go to everyone, but a lot of the stuff I do everyone gets, okay, other than the transcriptions, okay? The transcriptions are generally for Patreons, but you may not even want the transcriptions, but it'd be great if you chipped in for the videos, because it really does help out. Otherwise, just leave a comment, share the video with someone you know who may need some help, and I will see you guys in the next video. I don't have a pick, but that's cool. Do some. I don't know why I have to play at the start and the end of every video. It just feels like the right thing to do. See you guys in the next one.